What up guys, welcome back to our trading recap. So I know I've been gone for at least a month now because I've been dealing with a lot of school stuff and projects, but you know what, I'll try to keep it from a week to week basis and not from a month to month. And yeah, since I'm back, let's jump straight into this. So today trading recap will be slightly different. It won't be EURUSD today. I've been trading GBPUSD since last week and it's been going kinda good for me. And as you can see, I won't be covering not only one trade but three trades. So firstly, we have on Monday they took a short position, and as per usual, a 5-minute break of structure and showing on the 1 minute. So after breaking structure, price consolidated and I mark out an external high, which is my liquidity point. And after price expands, it sweeps and creating a leg down, which is where I'll mark my OB. And over here, we have a tap in, and I set my sell limit at the retest of over here. And I was actually quite skeptical to continue holding this trade because it actually broke my OB, which is against one of my rules. But I will just continue holding for data collection sake. And price actually went my way and hit TP, making me 2.6 or 2.7%. And I'll later explain why these dotted lines for. But the reason why I didn't put all the way down here is because I'm not too sure how GBPUSD volatility is, so I'll just set it up here to manage my risks. And next, we also have another short position which is on Tuesday over here. So same as the last one, 5-minute break of structure. Price slightly consolidates, but there's some movement also. Then it dips, and I mark out my external high, which is my liquidity point again. After price expands, stripping this area. The reason why I didn't mark this leg down with OB is because this area, because we didn't have a tap in. The tap in was all the way here, which broke the OB. So we didn't have a retest, so we didn't enter over there, making it an invalid OB. And the valid OB was over here. So as you can see, the leg down, marking this candle as OB. And I actually missed the original entry, which is over here. As you can see, the tap in was here and the retest was here. So I actually missed this entry and I entered here instead, but it's alright since it came back up. And price actually broke my OB again. And as you can see, there is no other liquidity point higher than this point. So I decided to continue holding to see if it's a similar pattern to the last one. And after a while, price hits my TP. And this time I put it slightly lower than this line, which is my liquidity point, and I put it here instead. Since there's already an external liquidity, so I just put it here, making me another 2.6%. And next, I've been waiting for this trade for actually quite some time because I wanted to enter on a long position, which is over here. So my bias for Wednesday is bullish. So 5-minute break of structure, price expands and retraces, and I already mark out the external liquidity point over here. And after price sweeps, this is a trade which I usually don't take because it's quite close to news, which I'll later show. And it actually consolidated a lot, so I was actually thinking of closing the trade. So we have a tap in over here, which slightly broke OB, but due to the last two trades showing same pattern, so I decided to hold. And the retest was oh sorry, the tapping was here, the retest was here. So it actually broke OB, and after I entered, it consolidated all the way to here, which almost hit myself. And I actually waited for this trade, and I actually wanted to close it at around 8 p.m. So after, price suddenly expands due to pre-news effects on price action. So after a while, it hits TP, earning me another 2%. So total, I think these three trades earn me around 7.3%. and I'll show you what are these dotted lines for. So these dotted lines for are actually 15-minute external liquidity points. So as you can see here, this was on Monday, and this liquidity point was all the way back in 21 July. So I mark out this external liquidity point, and since price only aim for two things, liquidity and balance, so in this case I mark out liquidity, and I know price would want to target this liquidity, and since my bias was already bearish, it will be only logical for price to be continue going down for these liquidity points. So I mark out this area, and price successfully hits this area, and like just now I explained, I put my TP slightly higher for risk management's sake. And for the next trade, which is here, this one, Tuesday, I mark out the external low all the way, yeah, all the way back. And since my bias was already bearish, and price actually sweeps this area already earlier, so I'll just keep my TP, as you can see here, a low. So I'll just keep my TP here, and it hits. And on Wednesday, it's actually a different case, because it's actually a retested zone of this area right here. As you can see, price sweeps this area already, and actually sweeps this area again, but I set my TP over on this side for a retested zone. And also imbalance over here, that's one of the reasons why I also set my TP. So I set it slightly lower because there is news on Wednesday, which I will show. And overall, these three trades is a success. I actually didn't realize it was 7.3%, and I actually didn't expect the last trade on Wednesday for it to hit. And on Thursday and Friday, I didn't trade because it didn't really give me a setup. So I'll show you guys the news on Wednesday. So Monday, we don't really have anything, so a clean trade for me. On Tuesday, the job opening was actually on 10 p.m, so it's safe for me to trade. And on Wednesday, I didn't realize there was news at 8:15. It was only when I entered that I realized there's news. So I want to close at 8 p.m, but since price hits my TP, then it's good. So I know I don't really follow my rules on Wednesday, but since it hit TP, I might consider slightly changing my rules a bit, but not trading on news as per usual. So that's really all for today's training recap. I'll try to keep it from a week to week basis, and not from a month to month basis, to really keep it consistent. And I'll switch around from trading recaps to weekly recaps like what I'm doing right now. So I'll see you guys on the next one.